So, Deathwatch are appearing on some of the top tables at tournaments. That's crazy. So I'm going to be talking to one of the best Deathwatch players in the UK. Now, he's recently gone undefeated at a Warhammer Grand Tournament. He's come across Talos, he's come across Imperial Knights, and he's come out on top. So we're going to be talking about what units make Deathwatch so good. We're going to be talking about what synergies and stratagems, if you're playing against them, you've got to watch out for. For you Deathwatch players, we're going to be talking about what allies really fill a hole in the army. And of course, being D6 Evolution, we're going to be talking about how you play against them, what tactics work. So, enjoy the video, guys. Be warned, if you're not already a Deathwatch player, you're probably going to want to be one after watching this video. And remember, we do regular tactics content on this channel, so like and subscribe. So welcome guys, it's Andy here from D6 Evolution, along with Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics.
How you doing, guys? And Andrew, thanks so much for having me on the show, mate. Really appreciate it.
It's not a problem. So the video today, we're talking about Deathwatch and why Deathwatch, surprisingly, are absolutely awesome and why some of the top players in the UK are now taking them. And I think almost certainly, mate, that's almost entirely down to you, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I'm happy to take all the credit, yeah.
Yeah, I think you've started a little bit of a trend here. So the video today, we're going to talk a little bit about Stephen's Vanguard Tactics, because I think it's absolutely awesome. We're going to talk about why Deathwatch are cool, what things Stephen thinks are the most optimum things in the codex, and what you're going to see in the top lists. We're going to talk about some of the cool synergies there, some of the stratagems you're going to see used. And lastly, we're going to talk how you beat Deathwatch, because you're going to be seeing them, guaranteed. And be warned, guys, after you watch this video, you're probably going to want to start a Deathwatch army, so don't blame me. So let's kick things off, buddy. Let's talk about Vanguard Tactics.
Yeah, so Vanguard Tactics, we're only now 4.5 weeks old. I literally set up the channel to basically help other people develop as a 40k player. So that's my mission, is to help you become a better 40k player. And it's had some really great kind of like feedback so far. My whole thing, I kicked it off with basically the report of me going undefeated with Deathwatch at the Warhammer World GT. This was pre-chapter approved as well, which is the biggest thing there. So I kicked it off with that. I went over, the list that I ran, why I took the list, how I thought it'd break the meta, and then all my matchups. And then that had some really great feedback. So I sort of expanded on that and then really started to look at battle analysis reports. So rather than just showing you every single dice roll, I show you the tactics, the strategies, why the players, and why, and I kind of like sit as the commentator, don't I, and sort of pause things. And yeah, so it's been absolutely fantastic. I've got a website now, a Patreon page, some supporters on there. So yeah, a massive thank you to everyone that's supporting me, because it just helps me put out much better videos. Yeah,
I've been really impressed with it, particularly, like you say, pausing those battle reports, circling where like someone's done like a poor deployment choice, because they're the things you learn from, isn't it? They're the things, like particularly things in deployment and other things you can, if you do it wrong at the start of the game, it just ends badly, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just like, I wrote an email actually recently, and I basically said, like, a lot of people must feel like they're always up against it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And they're like, they always say, oh, my mate's army's better than mine. My codex is rubbish, or they just are always on the back foot. And for me, it's all done in deployment. Like, if you've deployed wrong, and that's why, the reason why I came about doing these analysis elements and commentary of the games was because when I was preparing for tournaments, what I used to do was I used to tell my guys at my club, look, I'm coming to a tournament soon. I need a test game. Bring your worst. And I would try and choose the worst matchup possible. I would coach them as well how to use their list better against me. And there'd be a point in the game where I'd lost. And I think I was playing against, I was using my Harlequins and the Incarn with a bit of Craftworld mixed in. I was playing against Knights. And I think it was like turn 2. I was like, I've lost this game. There's no way I can win at turn 2. And all we did, I sat there for 45 minutes and I said, look, guys, you win this game, because I was playing against 2 of them, because they were like sort of helping each other out.
Yeah.
And they're more than happy to take me on. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which is cool. And we sat there for about 40 minutes and we spoke about everything that happened. And we literally took it back 3 phases. So not to the start of the charge phase, because we got to the end of my second turn and I knew I was lost. So I took it actually to the psychic phase. And the difference was target priority.
Yeah.
That changed the game. 2 different targets changed, and that game flipped it on its head, and it was a crushing victory to me, and I tabled him.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like when you don't blame your dice, you actually think about it. And what I've started telling some of my friends now is when they lose early on is take a picture of your deployment, and just run me through what you did, and you can usually spot where something's gone wrong.
100%.
Yeah. So let's kick this off with Deathwatch, because I thought they were really bad, mate. So what happened? Why on earth did you choose them?
Well, statistically, they are the worst. Yeah. I think based on some of the stats that I think it's called 40kstats.com put out.
Yeah.
So they're a website that basically tell you how likely you are to win your first game and also your first 4 games in a tournament. Deathwatch lose their first game every game. So yeah.
So you only needed to win 1 game actually to
be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone, they're very, very expensive for what you get. You know, I was taking this was pre-chapter approved, so this was before Storm Shields dropped in points. This was before the veterans dropped in points. So to give you a quick overview, it was a 1750 tournament, and Warhammer World play the chapter approved missions. Okay, so this was pre-chapter approved new missions as well.
Yeah.
So most of them are progressive scoring to a degree. So I took a Crest Knight. I took Tank Commander Pask, 31 Guardsmen, including the Commander.
Sounds like an awesome Deathwatch list so far.
Yeah. So that come to about 45% of the points of the army.
Yeah.
And then because I took over 50% of the points of then Deathwatch is classified as a Deathwatch list.
Yeah, I think, taking any Deathwatch, fair play to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I still took a battalion of Deathwatch. I had a battalion of Guard and a battalion of Deathwatch. I took a Watchmaster, a Watch Captain with a jump pack, and then I took 3 units of Deathwatch. And that was the list, basically.
So what were some of your toughest matchups in that tournament?
So I'll tell you why I took it.
Yeah, go on. Tell me that first.
Because I thought orcs would be everywhere. And I know. So the Deathwatch have got one of the strongest stratagems, I think, in the game. Well, they've got a couple of incredible ones. And the reason why they're so strong is because the meta is so prevalent of 2 things. Shining Spears and also orcs that with the jump, right? So I was like, right, I'm probably going to face Yannari, Shining Spears and orcs. And I might even face them, like 2 or 3 games over the course of the 5. So let's take what I think is going to kill it. That was my goal. So anyway, the orc stratagem, for every model I kill in Overwatch, the orc player takes an inch off their movement. And statistically, I kill 6. So this means now they need a 14-inch charge on 2 dice. It's not happening. So then there you've got 30 boys stood there, just tried to charge you, and then you just wipe that whole unit of 30 off every single turn. Every time they jump over, you wipe them off. So that's the strategy there.
That's really cool, actually. That is.
Yeah. And nobody knows about it.
No, because no one plays bloody Deathwatch. You crazy fool.
Yeah. So the other one, which really catches people off, is against an Eldari unit with the fly keyword. So this includes Talos, and it also includes Harlequin Bikes, and obviously Shining Spears. 3 units that are pretty popular, right? So
just a little bit. Anytime
a unit of the Eldari keyword moves within, so if it starts its move, ends its move, moves at all within 12 inches of one of my units of Deathwatch, I can shoot at it in his or my opponent's movement phase.
That's really strong.
You're at -1 to hit, a little bit like Auspex Scan, but it is brilliant because, I've got 32 shots from the Storm Bolters, re-rolling misses because of the Watchmaster next to him, re-rolling ones to wound because if I choose that type of thing, I can obviously, which you're going to, because the Shining Spears are coming over, so you're going to go up against fast attacks, you're re-rolling ones to wound. And then even if they have Protect on or whatever, you just go, right, -1 to hit, -1 armor save, or you go the wound on a 2 with a special ammunition, which I'll go on to. And they've also got other stratagems to get +1 to wound when you hit, so that's even better. And normally I kill 6 Shining Spears using that.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And it's going to work well against Talos as well, isn't it?
It worked very well against Talos, and because I played against Tabletop Tactics Lawrence Baker in the final.
Yep.
And I downed 2 Talos in his own movement phase. Yeah, he didn't see that one coming.
I guess you're going to jump. You're going to teleport them in 9 away. You're going to shoot them, and then as soon as he moves forward, you're going to shoot them again.
Yeah, and then if the little pesky Yanari boys want to soul burst away, I'll shoot them again because they get to move as if it's the movement phase, and I can play my stratagem because they are moving as if it's in the movement phase.
Yeah, you got to use that Yanari filth against them, haven't you?
Oh, they can't have it both ways, can they?
No, absolutely not. Okay, so
yeah, that's what I love them. It's just the tricks that no one knows.
That's cool.
Until now.
So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll break down what you think makes a competitive Deathwatch list, and then we'll talk about what's good matchups, what's bad matchups. Yep. So let's start off. What's your top unit in the Codex?
Oh, it's got to be and I think I've tried every single unit, by the way. Chapter approved has helped. Now things are cheaper, like the Corvus Blackstar and things. But even with that said, I think the strongest unit is the veterans. Okay.
Yeah.
The Watchmaster is amazing as well for his points, but we'll stick with the veterans for now.
Yeah.
So the veterans, what I take, and I think this is probably the optimal loadout between having enough storm shields to weather the hits and also enough bodies to do the work. So without too much of a points investment, because that's the problem. You can really load these boys up and you'd end up with nothing on the table to play with.
Yeah.
So basically what I run is a total of 9 veterans. One of them's a sergeant, which gives leadership 9 and also an extra attack for him. I take a black shield, which allows the entire unit to heroically intervene.
That's crazy, that is.
No one knows about that.
I do that with my Custodies as well. You can your Warlord can make all the units heroically intervene. It's brilliant.
Quality. That is wicked.
Yeah.
So that's great. Then I take a Vanguard veteran that allows my unit to fall back and shoot. I take a Terminator, so the whole unit is fearless. And obviously, when he's in cover,
he's a boss, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a 2-up save, obviously, which is great. You just put if they're shooting you with any sort of crappy shots, you just put him on him because he's fine. Even with a -1, you just put him on him. And then everyone has a Storm Bolter, apart from the Vanguard veteran because he can't take one. So literally, you've got about 3 or 4 guys with Storm Shields for the 3-up invulnerable save. Everyone's got a Storm Bolter, so you've got 2 shots basic, 4 shots rapid fire. That's 32 shots when you're in rapid fire range. And because they get special ammunition, they get 4 types of shots. One of them is +1 to hit if a unit's in cover, which is, to be honest, awful. Never use that one. I tell you what, if it was you get +1 to hit against a unit in cover, and they don't get the benefit of cover. I think that's good, but not with the just +1 to hit. No, because the next one is so much better. Hellfire. Hellfire means you wound anything on a 2+, except anything with the vehicle keyword.
So I mean that's some of the worst. That's some of the best meta things in the game, like the Talos and all those things. You're wounding them on 2s.
Yeah, Riptides. So Riptides are normally there. Oh, Haywire doesn't work on me. I don't have the vehicle keyword. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have the vehicle keyword. Hellfire. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So always wounding on a 2 is amazing because obviously then you get the chapter trait which you can change each turn for a CP or 2 depending on what you've got. But you can reroll ones.
So you're pretty much guaranteed wounds at that point, aren't you?
Yep. Then you've got another shot which allows you to get extra 6-inch range. And also that gives you -1 AP. So that's useful, because that now means you're rapid firing at 15-inch range, which a lot of people, you might think, oh, that's not really much. But when someone's trying to screen you out of 9 inches and you can still double tap, that's pretty effective. And then you've got that -1 as well. And then if you get within 9 inches, so you've got another shot which takes off 6 inches off your range, but it's -2 to armor saves. So you're double tapping it 9 inches away.
So that's really good for one of the things which I guess they're not so good at, which is when they're armor, yeah. But you can combine that, I guess, with the +1 to wound, can't you, to get you somewhere?
Exactly, and that's exactly what I did. Because one of my my second matchup was, so my first matchup at the GT was 3 Helverins, and then Blood Angels and Guard, so what you see quite a lot of. And then my second matchup was 5 Knights, and that's my worst matchup.
It is.
And then my third one was Magnus.
Oh, bloody hell.
And Rubrics, which are, again, dreadful matchup for me. And he also had the Zangor Bomb as well. Demon Princes, the Enlightened Boys. So not an easy matchup, that one. And then game 4 was Bobby G with a basically spammed Razorbacks and Predators.
Oh, let's harken back to the start of 8th edition, that is. Yeah.
And then that's another awful matchup for me, because everything's a bloody vehicle.
I'm getting the sense everything's a bad matchup.
And then I had one good matchup, which was against Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics.
Yeah.
Which was his Dark Eldar in Craft World combo. So he was running 9 Talos and then 3 Ravagers. So my list does quite well against that.
Yeah, that's they're pretty nasty lists, they are. And I guess because you've been winning them, you face nastier and nastier lists, to be fair, as well. But yeah, to come undefeated through all of that is pretty damn impressive.
And do you know what was even worse? Was that in my first game, I only lost a unit of Deathwatch. My second game against the 5 Knights, I only lost a unit of Guard. The third game against Magnus, I only lost a unit of Guard, and I tabled all 3 opponents.
Wow.
And then in game 4, that one wasn't, let's say, a very fun and enjoyable game for different reasons. But I think I'd only lost in that game a unit of Deathwatch as well.
So that's good, because I would have thought they weren't. I thought almost to be like a glass cannon sort of list. Once you get through that Terminator, volume of shots will just mow them down. But you're clearly, well, we'll get on to how you're playing them in a minute, because you're clearly not just running them up the board at people to sort of have that little losses. But that's really impressive. That's really impressive.
Do you want me to go over sort of my strategy with the list and how I've been using them now?
Yeah, absolutely. Because go on, tell me. I'll shut up.
So no, it's fine. I just thought it might be a nice little momentum there. So because I've got Pask, he's got 72-inch range. He just sits right at the backfield, and also my Knight has got the battle cannon as well, and he's also got the rocket spear, 72-inch range. So I think a lot of people make the mistake is they screen far too high than they need to.
Yeah.
So I've come up with actually 3 different screening approaches. I've got a screen low, middle, and high approach depending on the army that I run. So where I can, I try and screen really low, and that's basically screening as close to my board edge as I possibly can, out of line of sight. Because I think far too many people gift and give away their screen to early on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't need it, don't just stick them in the open.
Exactly. So unless I'm facing something that I know can redeploy, or I know something that might guarantee a charge even if I deploy really low, then what I'll do is literally keep everyone out of line of sight, because I need my screen for turn 2 and 3, not turn 1. So there's no point trying to screen as best you can turn 1. So I screen really, really low, okay, and really close to my board edge. And I play really cagey for turn 1 and 2.
And so do you have your Deathwatch in reserve at this point?
Yeah.
And you can put, how many units can you put in reserve with them?
3.
Okay, so you have all your kill teams in reserve.
Yeah, and the captain with the jump pack goes in there anyway. Okay, so the only person that goes on the board is the Watchmaster by himself. Mm-hmm. And that's just enough to make sure that over 50% of the army starts on the board. So then what I'm able to do is in some matchups I do put down 1 unit of Deathwatch in my field. So I did this against the Knights. I did that against.
Okay.
And I'll tell in a minute because that's a really bad matchup for me. But although I did end up tabling the Knight player, I won easily by the mission, and I'll go on to that in a minute. But so the reason why I put down a unit on the board, and sometimes I just hide him out of line of sight, is because my captain's got a relic that allows, when he comes down with the Beacon and Jealous, I can pick up any one of my units and drop them within 6 inches of him, 9 inches away from an enemy.
Okay. And that's better than having them in the sky, is it? Just in case someone tries to rush your lines, is it? Is that your thinking?
Yeah. So against, for example, the Zangors that drop turn 1, I've got my Deathwatch there, ready to. So they hit, they kill 10 guardsmen, I clear them away with my veteran squads, and then later on in the game, when I might need them in turn 4 or turn 5, I can just bing them back over.
Yeah.
So the opponent's thinking, oh, that's fine, those Deathwatch are well out of range, and all of a sudden turn 3 or turn 4 they're now back in play again. So that's really strong, and it also then saves you that CP having to spend it at the start of the game.
Yeah, and it's also gets over one of the weaknesses of the Vanguard, of the veterans in general, is that they're pretty damn slow. So once you drop them, they're going to stay roughly where they are, the foot-slogging infantry, aren't they? So the fact that you can redeploy them later in the game, one is the element of surprise, but also just gets over their inherent weakness, isn't it?
Yeah, or you can I'd put Deathwatch on a building or something. So then when they drop, I'm 9 inches away because of the steep angle. I can then double tap. Yeah, I'm in cover, and I'm like, well, do you know what? I'll just redeploy. That's fine. That's great. And again, your opponent doesn't see it coming. So you can just use the captain with his jump pack and advance move to get where you need to be, drop them round, and then all of a sudden they've got a little gun bubble there as well, re-rolling ones to hit. So really effective.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the things of one of the good things about playing a slightly off-meta list is that actually people don't see it coming because it's not played.
Yeah. So that's it. That's exactly what I did. So then the other thing that I did there was, so this is how I played against the Knight player. It was the mission where characters score over anything else. Yeah. So what I did was I basically started my captain behind a screen of guard and also behind a screen of Deathwatch. And what I did was basically, because it has to be 12 inches away from your line, this objective marker that you have to, because it has to be bang in the center. So I basically stacked everything to one side. He's only got 5 knights, so I literally out-deployed him out of range, my knight out of everything that he could possibly shoot with. And I thought, right, I'll kill 1 knight this turn. And all I did, advance and move my captain onto one objective, cleared off one side of the board, and then I redeployed my same unit that was, 6 inches behind around him. Yep. Because I knew that there's no way, with as many storm shields I've got, he's going to have to try and kill my knight because my knight's killing his knights. Yeah. And he's going to have to try and kill my Deathwatch squads. And he's then going to have to try and kill a captain. He's probably not going to do that in a turn. So as long as I get past turn 1, in my second turn, I'm scoring 2 points, and he's not even scored a single point yet. So just by getting that momentum, and then all I then do is move my troops up, my infantry squads, all of a sudden my captain's still protected, and I can movement block with my guardsmen, so his knights can't charge my captain, and my captain's just stood there with his hammer like, I'm ready to use this, but I've just scored 2 victory points turn 2, 3 victory points turn 3, and so on. And by this time, I got board control, and I'm literally hammering. And he was so focused on killing my knight even, and I've got a 3-up invulnerable save on him. Happy days for 1 CP a turn.
It's so efficient having 1 knight, isn't it? Because you always have the 3-up invuln. And also, guys, there's a cool video we've done on our channel about move blocking knights, and it's so effective. Like Stephen's saying, it's crazy. And like you're saying, you don't have to kill knights. You just have to outscore them because they suck at scoring.
Yeah, that's it. exactly what you have
the
to
big,
do.
the scary, but actually just play the mission. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or just table them like you did.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. So yeah, and so with that combination, then it's just really effective. You've actually got like I actually find I've got really good board control with them because I literally drop down in the middle and blast things away, move up, fire more things away. In the knights, then the knight then can start to play more aggressive. So once he's played very conservative, and this is I think the other mistake people make. Just because you have a gun doesn't mean you have to use it. So just because I've got a 36-inch range Avenger cannon, I don't need to use it. If I'm better off 72 inches away and using it for 2 turns and keeping my knight completely fresh and forcing my opponent to move in advance to get in range or whatever, then actually he's doing his job. He's still firing, and then if he's still alive by turn 3 or turn 4, probably my opponent's probably got nothing left to really kill the knight, and then he can run around and do what he wants.
And briefly explain why your knight's so efficient at killing knights, because this thing is awesome.
Yeah, so I take the Crast knight.
Yeah.
So one single knight doesn't get the Crast household trait, which allows you to reroll misses in combat. However, I can do, and I've made a cheat sheet for this. Am I allowed to do a plug, by the way?
Go on, plug away.
Okay, so on my website, www.vanguardtactics.com, I give you a cheat sheet. So when you use this knight, it tells you what warlord trait and what relic to take, depending on the matchup that you face. So if you play orcs, it tells you what relic and warlord trait to take. If you play gene stealers, it tells you what one to take or whatever. So when you play knights, they've got really good AP weaponry. So you take the 4-up invulnerable save on him.
Yeah.
And you rotate every turn for 1 CP. Happy days. If he takes some wounds, you can just play 1C because he's is it a Mechanicus knight?
Any knight gets the rerolls to gets the 3-up invuln.
Oh, sorry, I meant on the to fire on full bracket because he's
it's got to be a Mechanicus knight to do that.
Yeah. So he gets really strong. He gets the 3-up invuln save. He can fire on full, ballistic skill even when he's hurt because he's Mechanicus. And then because he's Crast, you can take a relic that gives you +1 damage against models with, I think, 10 or more wounds.
Yeah.
And against Titanic, I think it's 2 damage.
It's bonkers. This is in my list at the moment, and there's nothing more satisfying than having a 3 damage heavy stabber or flamer. It's so funny. So each one of your shots gets +2 damage.
Yeah. Against other Titanic vehicles, right?
Yeah. So
your Avenger Gatler cannon, 4 damage. Your battle cannon, D3+2, so average of 4, maybe a 5, even at worst a 3. It's incredible.
Yeah. Also, guys, Titanic feet are weapons. So your Titanic feet are getting D3+2 damage as well. They do some work, I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. They do some work. So I think in a knight matchup, having House Crast, and if you're just going to take one knight, just in case you come across other knights, having it as Crast really turns it in your favour. And not many people know about Crast. Certainly on the sort of middle tables, certainly the top tables know about it. But
yeah, a lot of people take Raven and they take Castellan. I actually think and I can't take full credit for this. So one of the guys from Glasshammer, Adam's been helping me out, and he was like, "Look, you should look at this option." So give him definitely a shout out.
Yeah, he told me how to do it as well.
Yeah,
it's all Adam here.
Yeah. So and he was like, "Look, you'll probably outshoot a Castellan," and I was like, "Really?" And anyway, I was on the board against the Castellan. Yeah, I outshot him and took him down. So he is very good for his points.
And because people don't really expect it, sometimes they don't even rotate shields. I found they're just like, oh, you've taken 12 damage, and that actually is 24 damage you've just taken there.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, and also because the Castellan is it 3 CPs to rotate his iron shields?
It's way less survivable.
Yeah, whereas I can rotate every turn, fire on full ballistic skill every turn. Even for 2 CPs a turn, I'm probably going to get some of them back anyway. If I do that for 3 turns, so even if I put aside 6 CPs to keep my knight fully function, if my knight gets to turn 3 and he's still alive and he's done that much damage, I've won the game.
Yeah, and it's good not just against knights, but against heavy mech lists, because you're getting that +1 damage as well, as opposed to the +2. But it's still it still does a lot of work.
Yeah, or you got the other great option, which again is great against Horde, is let's say I'm playing Orcs. Orcs really struggle against a 2-up save, so you give the Relic 2-up save.
Yeah.
And then you take the Warlord trait, which is Crast only, reroll 1s to hit.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good option.
So again, you got all that, you got all those shots, and if you had a really good screen, you could and they didn't have looters, you could probably take the special Crusader Avenger Gatler cannon, Endless Fury. So you get an extra like 14 shots, 6s explode, re-rolling 1s to hits. That's just going to go through Orcs, lovely.
Yeah, no, it's great, that is. And I think it fills a hole where Deathwatch can't quite cope, can they? Because they can. Exactly. I think you can take one knight down with your Deathwatch with your +1 to wound, re-rolling 1s to wound. But I think if you're facing a whole knight army,
you struggle.
You need something else there. Okay, so let's get back to the actual Deathwatch. So a couple of questions I've got for you. What do you, because other guys, they've got other things apart from just the veterans. What do you think about adding a bike into the list?
So I tried adding in a bike because the bike allows 3 things to happen. One of them is you can fall back and charge. I never really find that very useful because by the time I fell back and shot, there's nothing left.
And why is there nothing left? Because you've got chainswords in your group, haven't you? So each guy gets 3 attacks?
Exactly, yeah.
And,
So 3 attacks base, and then some of them have got 4 attacks.
Yeah, that's bonkers. So the bike, so you find you're not using the fallback, because you can fall back and shoot anyway because of the Vanguard, can't you?
You can fall back and shoot because of the Vanguard veteran. Yeah. The bike allows you to fall back and charge.
Yeah. The 2 wounds, was he just not quite as efficient as the... Because he's got the bolters, essentially, which is essentially a storm bolter, isn't it?
Yeah. He also, what a lot of people don't think about, is he allows you to take a teleport homer. So the teleport homer you can deploy in your own, it has to be deployed in your deployment zone. But it basically is another beacon. So let's say you realise that you need your squad back in your own deployment zone ASAP. You can then ping your unit back again, which I think is really tactical.
That's cool. Do you sorry, carry on.
I'm just saying it's quite situational. I've never found I've needed that because I've screened so well with the guard.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you deploy the teleporter homers at the start of the game, or is it when?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got. I mean, that's reasonably cool, isn't it?
You could stick it literally in the corners of the board, and if you know there's that objective near you or something, and maybe they come round with a quick unit or whatever, or they. I don't know, let's say they've got some witches in Deep Strike or something and they hit your guards line and all of a sudden they're on your objective. You could then drop down, clear them off, and then get on your objective again. Like it could be useful.
Have you got to come within 9 of it, or what's the...
Yeah, I think if an enemy gets within 9 inches of it, it just disappears.
And have you got to Deep Strike within 9 inches of it? Have you? Is that the idea?
I think it's within 9 inches away for them.
Okay, right, yeah. Right. So I do quite like having those little bits of tech in my list, but it is situational, isn't it? But
it is free, so why not?
Fun.
Yeah. The other thing that it allows you to do is because the Vanguard veteran can move 12 inches, the other guys can only move 6. What the bike is great at, the Vanguard veteran can move 12. You've then got this 3-inch based model.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
To then fill the gap between the first, so you get 2 inches obviously then back from the Vanguard veteran.
Yep.
So his base is 1 inch anyway. Yep. Then you get 2 inches until where you place your bike. So now you're up to 3 inches.
Yep.
Then you've got a 3-inch base, which is 6 inches, and then you've got another 2 inches until you then put your first guy down. So actually he's a really good bridger in your unit to maintain coherency, so your units can still move at 12 inches a turn.
So that's quite good. So then you can obviously slingshot everyone forwards when you actually charge, can't you? So by the time you charge, you pile in and you consolidate the rest of your units where it needs to be. So it's
But I found in my test games, and this again, remember this is pre-chapter approved when bikes were a lot more expensive. Now they might be worth running one. But basically at the time I was just like, it's just not worth it. A Terminator is probably better because what I was finding is when I drop, because I'm dropping down from deep strike, by the time I've rapid fired away, there's not much left to then even need to slingshot, because I can just move 6 inches forward or 8 inches forward with the then Vanguard veteran just in front. And then that's probably enough to do another turn of shooting and everything's dead. So I didn't really need it. But now with the points drop, putting in a bike in each one is probably a good way to go. Why not?
Yeah, it's just
those
that
three
fun little bit
benefits.
of tech for
Yeah.
bouncing around the board, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think about some of the Primaris units? Aggressors. Aggressors are my favourite Primaris.
Yeah, I was toying with 6 aggressors. And what I was going to do with them was put them on, deploy them, and then use the relic to redeploy them. That was what I was going to go with.
Do they count as moving?
You can either drop them, obviously. The thing is then, what I thought was, if I'm playing orcs, for example, you then deploy them behind them is the Watchmaster. So then on Overwatch, you put the strat down and you click, because you haven't moved yet. So that's perfect for that situation, because you want them on the battlefield. And they haven't moved, so that you're getting the maximum out of them. Or if you're against Gene Stealers or something, you can just sit there and just go, right, bring it on, boys. And then you can, if you still need them later on in the game, because they're an expensive unit and a very expensive unit, you can redeploy them, so then they're then very effective again.
Yeah, so I think they're... So were there too many points, or what was your thoughts behind not taking them?
I didn't have the models. And at the time, in the 1750 list, I spent literally, the battalion just fits in the points.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to drop a unit of veterans, because my veteran squads are about 200 points. To take 6 aggressors, I'd have to drop a unit of troops. It just wouldn't fit. Now, with that list, I actually, since chapter approved dropped, I saved, even with just 50% of it coming from Deathwatch, that army, I still saved 150 points.
Wow. So, what's your thoughts about things to add to it now? Where are you going with it?
Oh, so yeah, I've got a couple of 2,000 point lists coming up, right? So I've been trying to make pure Deathwatch work, because I don't want people to go like, oh, you got a knight, it's a soup list, right?
I think anyone who takes any Deathwatch, and bearing in mind they're meant to be bad, I think anyone who takes them, fair enough. Not that I think they're bad anymore after chatting to you.
Yeah. So I have been toying with 3 Chaplain Dreadnoughts.
Ooh.
Because they're all, it's a Forge World unit, so it's fine in ITC, but obviously not in ETC.
Yeah.
So with twin las cannons, because they're about 180 points, 190 points. Hit on 2s, but you can't shoot them because they're under 10 wounds. And they give a really effective counter punch. So obviously they're re-rolling all misses because of the Watchmaster.
Yep.
So even if they move, they're still hitting on 3s. They get I think 5 up invulnerable save, 6 up feel no pain, 9 wounds each. And they give +1 strength to any other Deathwatch unit that is in combat with the same enemy unit. So if you've got a knight that comes forward, all of a sudden your strength 6 chaplain is now strength 7. And if his mate is next to him as well, he's now strength 8, doubled up to 16 because of the weapon. Now you're wounding knights on 2s.
Wow, that really is something.
Hitting on 2s, you're hitting on 2s, you're wounding on 2s, you're doing -3 armor save, 3 damage a go. It's pretty good. So it's a good little counter punch.
Okay, that's a really interesting combo there. Really good.
Yeah. I would love Corvuses to be good. Because they look so good and I've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because again, you could put 3 in the sky, you could move 1 over, drop 1 down, redeploy 1. So you could get 5 units of veterans in their enemy lines turn 2, which would be disgusting. That's like, what's that, 180 odd Stormbolter shots turn 2. That'd be disgusting. But because they don't have power of the machine spirit, they're just hitting on 4s with las cannons, or
it's just inefficient, isn't it, compared to the other options?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on sort of basic intercessors? Because they can get -1 rend on their weapons, can't they? On some of them, so...
Yeah, they just die too easy because they don't have the storm shields.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what makes your list good, isn't it? Because even when things like Talos smash into your lines, you can just take them on the shields, can't you?
Or you take them on the Terminator.
Yeah.
Because I think when I played Lawrence, he used the one which gives you, because he knew I'd obviously a 3-up invuln save. He went for the one that gives you loads of attacks instead.
Okay.
And I just tanked them all on the Terminator, 2-up, 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 2-up. Because he forgot that I had a Terminator in there with a 2-up save. Yeah, I don't know. There's just, and I think for the points, they've only got 2 shots anyway.
Yeah.
At rapid fire, so I'm getting 4 with mine. And all you need to do is drop in hit, and that's the tactic with them. I don't think the Primaris boys would have the same effect. I think what a better weapon actually, what I've tried and used to quite some good use is the veterans, but with Stalker pattern bolt guns.
Okay.
Because they are heavy 2. So once you've got them set up in a terrain or whatever, again near the Watchmaster, 5 of them is great because they're getting 10 shots. They get 30-inch range, wounding on 2s, because they get Hellfire again. Or if you need a bit of extra range, go for the one that gives you +6, and that gives you -1 at armor save as well. So actually,
they'll do some work. They will really do some work.
So it's heavy 2, strength 4, -1 stock. So even on Hellfire, or if you go for the one that you want +1 AP on, so now at -2. So actually against screens, it's really good to kill screens at quite good, so that sort of 36-inch range. So they're quite useful and they're cheap, and that's what you want. Cheap troops, really.
Yeah.
In Deathwatch.
We haven't really talked too much about you. Well, we talked a little bit about your Terminator, but I assume, do you just keep him just stock, just base Power Fist, is it, and Stormbolter?
Stormbolter, and what I really like is I was running Power Swords because it was the only models I had.
Yep.
Because they're much cheaper. Because
I didn't realise they could go for Power Swords.
Yeah, but they can also go for a Power Maul.
Okay.
And I think for 4 points, same points as a power weapon, you get +2 strength, so you're now strength 6, -1. So I think what I like about that is, if generally I found if they're in combat of anything, it's probably cheap chaff. Like they're either toughness 3 or toughness 4 scouts or something. That's the only things you ever really fight in combat.
Yeah.
So having strength 6 -1 is perfect. You just put them down to a save that they're probably going to fail. And also you've got that much greater chance of wounding them. But taking a Power Fist is useless because the Terminator, although he's meant to be a beast, is only getting 2 attacks.
I've always found them really underwhelming in combat.
Yeah. Why have you got this absolute monster with a Power Fist who only gets 2 attacks? He should have 5 attacks, at least.
Yeah, bring Terminators back.
Maybe 10 attacks, who knows?
Yeah.
+1's a hit.
Let them have their day. Just let them have their day.
Yeah. So Power Mauls, I think, are the way forward in Stormbolters. Yeah. But again, a lot of people don't know that because you just think, Terminator comes as stock with a Power Fist.
That's
really expensive. But until you actually read through the codex really efficiently, and obviously, I've never seen anyone take them with Power Swords until I took them. Well, I mean, I didn't see Deathwatch at all, but anyway.
Yeah. I've never seen a Power Maul in this edition, mate. So
yeah. They're the way forward, Power Mauls. I was running in my pure Deathwatch list. I tried out 3 captains. You see, with jump packs, all were just Power Mauls. And then I was also just taking a Storm Bolters because then you've got some more shots. And the captains are great because they get special ammunition in their Storm Bolters. For 1 CP, you can basically use a Hellfire round. So you can do D3 mortal wounds against a vehicle. So that. Do you know what? That came in handy so many times. I was like, that's vehicle with 2 wounds left or 1 wound left. Well, 1 CP, mortal wound. See you later. Gone.
Yeah,
great.
It's a clutch little stratagem, isn't it? It's just
definitely. So yeah, that's pretty effective. Just it's quite situational, but they got the tricks. They got the thing. And what I love is the Watchmaster for a couple of reasons. A, he rerolls all misses within 6, so that includes Overwatch as well, which is so powerful.
Yes.
And a lot of people forget that. They just think, it's you're only going to reroll your 2s, but actually in Overwatch you're rerolling your 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, which is so good. Then,
particularly when you're up against orcs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you need him.
Yeah.
He's got a 2-up save. He's got Artificer armor. He gets an extra wound. He's okay in combat. He's not amazing. I think I literally never even put him in combat once in the whole tournament. But he's hard to shift basically. And the other thing is he allows you to change your chapter. Your tactical trait, that Deathwatch take, for 1 CP instead of 2 CPs.
Yeah, your mission tactics, yeah.
That's it, your mission tactics, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you can change that for 1 CP rather than 2 if he's on the battlefield. So, again, for 130 points, he's like the cheapest chapter master I can think of. I don't know if there's anyone cheaper, but he's great.
Yeah, and I assume you run your captain as, I say, smash cap, do you?
I was, yeah, and then I realised I never got him in combat either. So having the Thunderhammer is rubbish. So actually, a Stormbolt is way more useful. So now I just give him either a Power Maul if I want to save points for 4, or if I want to splash out, I'll give him a Relic Blade, because
fair enough.
The only thing he's probably getting combat with is having in Strength 6 -3 D3 damage is all right against some heavily infantry or whatever you might want to go up against. Whereas because he's not the same as a Blood Angel Smash Captain, you're trying to, just because that's good doesn't mean your Smash Captain's going to be good. Completely different units, basically. Different roles.
Fair enough. So, in terms of stratagems, I think we've covered most of the things. The things we covered already was the +1 to wound, the intercepting volley, which is the thing you use against Eldar, the orcs one, and the sort of changing to your chapter, your mission tactics. Is there any other sort of standout stratagems which you think are going to catch people off guard, or anything else they need to know if they're coming against Deathwatch?
Auspex scans are still good.
Yeah.
Drop within 12 inches from reinforcements. So obviously with orcs, like commandos are quite a prevalent unit. And because commandos do come in from reinforcements, that's good. To obviously shoot when you're in your opponent's movement phase. Loads of people forget about it. There is one actually. So this one I did use against the knights. So I got my unit of Deathwatch within 9 inches. So I was -2 to wound. Sorry, -2 AP on my shots.
Yeah, from the special issue ammunition.
That's it. So I had 32 shots, re-rolling all misses. I then played the stratagem, +1 to wound.
Yep.
So I'm now wounding the knight on 5s. I'm re-rolling 1s to wound. Okay, and then there's another stratagem. Re-roll all wounds against the warlord.
Ooh, that's
and obviously
nice.
most people go, "Oh, my Castellan's my warlord," because they want to give him the. I'm like, yeah, mate, you can have a 4-up invulnerable save. I don't care. So by the time I put 30, so then you're wounding on 5s now, re-rolling all of them, and at -2, I think that squad put 10 wounds off the Castellan. I mean, 4 CP investment, but well worth it.
Yeah. If you need it, don't you?
In that hard matchup, yeah, really worth it. And also, what people don't expect is Hellfire goes through Magnus like butter. Yeah,
because a 3-up save, just a 3-up save. If you put like 30 wounds on him,
doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean that is a hard matchup for me, and I think that's where, because of the mortal wound aspect that the Thousand Suns can put out. That was a really hard matchup, but luckily I screened well with my guard so that they had to soak up the Overwatch the smite basically. And Rubric Marines are actually really hard to shift, just because obviously when they are hit by a damage 1 weapon, they get +1 armor save. So now they've got a 2-up save in cover, then they're like 0-up save. And they hit back with -2, so that straight away it's forcing loads of shots on your invulnerable save shields. Once they've gone, that's it. The rest of the squad's dead. So Rubric Marines are a hard counter to Deathwatch, which is why I then built a Thousand Suns lift and gave it on to all my Patreons to be like, look, I've made this list. This is the one that beats it.
Wow, you're really shooting yourself in the foot there, but fair enough. So talking about sort of hard matchups, because I assume if people are starting to bring these squads, they're going to bring 3 squads of veterans, like you said, and they're basically going to bring a battalion, aren't they? What are the ways? What are the easiest ways to beat this if it comes up?
Mortal wounds, smite.
Yeah.
If you're running Eldar, then Executioner and a smite is going to be really good. If the Terminator's gone and they've only got single wound left, then all you need to do then is literally. And if he makes a mistake, if you do the smite and you do 1, great. Executioner, because Executioner goes off D3 mortal wounds. If it kills a model,
yeah,
you do it again. So you're like 3D3 mortal wounds.
That's nasty, isn't it?
When I played Dan from Dan Paul, this is from Vanguard Tactics. We played a game, and I don't want to give too much away about the game, but he used Necrons, right? He has got Imhotech. Once per turn, you can pick a unit and do D6 mortal wounds to a unit. Obviously, Dan being Dan rolls a 6, so I lose 6 Deathwatch veterans turn 1, even before the game starts. So anything like that. I reckon even like orbital bombardment and things that you never see used, anything that puts mortal wounds on the squad, that starts getting rid of those storm shields. Once they're gone, the rest dies. So mortal wounds, I think, are your way forward. Yeah.
And I guess once the Terminator's gone, just Weight of Fire will bring those 3+ saves down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. 3 up, because they're on a 3 up then, aren't they? Or 2 up in cover. Yeah. But looters would be really good against them.
Looters are good against everything.
Yeah, that might.
It's a bit like saying just put Doom on them to re-roll everything.
Yeah, disintegrator cannons with Doom are great against them. Yeah. What else is good? Anything like a Void Raven bomber. Again, like you're going back to the mortal wound side of things, but anything
Dark Talons, things like that are going to work well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Dark Talons will.
That's it.
Dark Talons will be really nasty, actually, won't they? Because they drop their bombs for mortal wounds, then the Rift Cannon does mortal wounds, and it's
nasty.
Yeah. So mortal wounds work, high strength, and I guess debuffing the units, because essentially they're an elite unit, a bit like my Custodians are. So Jinx, Doom, all those things. They're going to
screening well. If you screen them out of range of 15 inches, you need to screen them outside of 16 inches.
Yeah.
Then they're only firing 2 shots per. So then now they're only getting 16 to maybe 18 shots. And they can only then wound you on either 2s, but then they're not putting any modifiers on you. And if they go for the modifiers, they'll probably wound you on 3s or 4s. So if you keep them out of rapid fire range, they're really not effective at all. If they get in rapid fire range, if you let them get within 12, you've made a mistake. So you either haven't screened well enough, you've either lost your screen too early because you deployed ineffectively, or you haven't took enough of a screen. So you just need a screen against Deathwatch if you don't have the mortal wound output.
Yeah, so screen and then just range and just take them out as they come down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you can think of? Ways to get around them? Anything else you've been killed by? I find that's the quickest way to learn what kills you is by someone murdering you or something. But
yeah, anything with like a -1 AP is a nightmare. Yeah. Anything with about minus. So is it like Tau have got a lot of good weapons that kill you? I get killed by them a lot. Like Riptides are brilliant at just because they're damage 2 weapons on their whatever guns they're called, burst cannons, heavy burst cannons.
It's going to go through the Terminator, isn't it? And then
Avenger Gatling cannons go through you because it goes through the Terminator, goes through armor, goes through. It's enough shots to go through their storm shields.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of light mix of. I'll tell you what does as well. Game 1, I got hit by a bloody unit of Tempesta Scions with plasma weapons. That went through a unit so well. It did better than the Death Company unit that dropped in and tried to kill me.
Wow.
Because it's just that really good efficiency, like -2 damage. Like Reapers would be great against them, to be fair, Dark Reapers.
Yeah.
So you want that sort of just more than, as long as it's strength 5 or more weapon and it's -1 or 2 armor save and about 1 to 2 damage, you're sweet, you're golden. You're going to go through them easy.
Yeah. And in terms of your target priority? Would you shoot your heavy weapons first to try and tease out that Terminator, and then shoot your light weapons?
I don't know really. It's so situational, you know.
Because I guess you take the heavy weapons on the storm shields to start with. Then I guess you'll have to switch over to your Termi, won't you?
I would go, if you've got any -1 stuff, put that in first.
Yeah.
And then it's down to the Deathwatch player what he does. Now, if he decides to go with the Terminator, cool. Then you put all the low, like no sort of AP into him.
Yeah.
The high AP weapons like -3, because then he's on his 5-up invuln save, Terminator dead, and then you put all the low AP stuff into the rest then, and then they'll just die. So regardless if they got a storm shield or not, it doesn't matter. When you put like 60 shots into them of bolt gun or Tesla or Fire Warriors shots, it doesn't matter. The rest will just die.
The 40k universe is a lethal place, buddy.
Yeah, mate. No one's safe. Not even not even the Emperor's finest.
No. Okay. What do you think are some of your good matchups when you're playing Deathwatch?
Any Xenos, really. So do well against Harlequins, do well against Eldar, do well against Yannari, do well against Orcs, do well against anything Horde related, basically. Like I was praying for Nurgle demons, because obviously they're like toughness 5, and I'm like, that's fine, I don't care. Wound you on 2s.
Yeah.
You got demon princes, wound you on 2s. I wound everything on 2s apart from plague burst crawlers. So yeah, anything with a lot of bodies, cultists, bring them on. Loads of guard boys, bring them on. I'll just go through the lot with my storm bolters.
Yeah.
So it does well against all that stuff. I think now with chapter approved, they play the missions really, really well. They play the missions even better because the whole unit is now objective secured.
Yeah.
And there was one neat little trick I was trying, was taking 5 veterans and you add in 4 bikes in 1 Vanguard veteran, and you give the Vanguard veteran a storm shield. It doesn't really matter what you give the veterans. Maybe like the weapons that the ones I said earlier, the Stalker Patter bolt guns, right? Now, because they are deployed as a troop unit, you can then combat squad them because they're a unit of 10. So now you've got the 4 bikes and the Vanguard veteran. The Vanguard veteran's got the storm shield. All the other guys have got the bikes and the combat weapons. And now you've got bikes and a Vanguard veteran with objectives secured. So that can be quite situational, but really useful for just grabbing objectives.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Especially just like to say, like, you know, it's like when it's turn 1 and there's like, it's kind of like that fight for the middle one to get that, you know, you just nip in there with your quick unit because they might have spears or something, or I don't know, something fast like jet bikes, but they're not objective secured, but you are, and that's just enough to take the edge. And all of a sudden, if you've got that, you know, defend it or whatever card, you've got it. Cool. And then you just need your next turn to bring on the reinforcements. Brilliant. So it's useful in that way.
That's really good. So you've mentioned already some of the things you struggle against, but I'm guessing it's Tau. Tau is probably one of your hard matchups.
Yeah, it depends on the player really with Tau. Yeah, it really depends on the player. Like you can either, again, because you've got a really good stratagem to remove all marker lights off you for 1 CP.
Yeah. Do you try and bait them till the end? So like wait until they hit that +1 to hit before removing them all? Because I guess if you do it too early, it doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll wait until they're almost there and go, no.
Exactly, yeah. Get them there and then you just get them to that when they've got 5 on you, or they've just spent a CP to get you up to 5 and you're like, I'll take the whole off me. And then their Riptides all of a sudden, you know, if they moved or whatever, they're now hitting you on 4s or 5s or whatever it is. Yeah. And you're like, and it depends on the loadout as well. And so many different things like rail rifles. Doesn't matter. I've got a 3-up invuln save, but the missile pods, because they've got a much, much higher rate of shots, that's now tricky. So if they were taking the, what was common for a while, was it Long Strider? Something like that? The tank boy, the Tau.
Long strike hits on 2s, yeah. That.
So if he's hitting me with a rail rifle, I don't care, I've got a storm shield. Like, do you know what I mean? By the time I'll save that, and then this, what a waste. So yeah, it does depend on the loadout of Tau, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is I'm just thinking, but it does just play the mission well. They're hard to kill, they're hard to shift. Because the knight's there, you want to kill him, and he's hard to shift as well. There's just a lot of threats on the board.
Yeah, and it's a nice. You've got a nice toolbox thing with that special issue ammunition where you can kind of deal with most threats, can't you? So it's
Yeah,
I think it sounds like a really cool, fun army to play actually. And I think it'd be a lot of people who are listening to this go, I kind of want to play Deathwatch now.
yeah. I've had so many people message me like, "Oh, can I use your list?" And I'm like, "Yeah, carry on. I can't stop you. Just as long as I get credit for it, I'm happy." But then the tank commander's great as well. He's like, I was running Pask, and I think I'm just going to swap it now for a regular Vestroyan one because he's cheap.
This is what I've been doing. I've been running Vestroyan.
Yeah.
I've been running
because they get the
Punishers.
CP.
I've been running,
you go Punishers.
I go Punishers, but equally well the Relic battle cannon from the new Vigilus thing's very good as well. You're right. They've got the +1 to hit stratagem, which is
cheap man's Pask, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, but the other good thing about using the +1 to hit is it makes, if you run them with plasma guns on the sides, suddenly you can overcharge your plasma safely, providing you didn't move.
Exactly.
Which is actually very efficient. Very efficient.
And with the extra 6-inch range, really useful because plasmas suffer a little bit on their range, don't they? Again, you've then got a las cannon with a much greater range. And I found when I use Pask before, obviously, and I think the Vestroyan boy will just be just as useful. No one targets him. He's out of range, and he's just chipping away turn after turn. You know, I think he killed over the course. He killed 3 Helverins himself, like brilliant over the course of the tournament. You know, and he's just great at chipping away at things and just being like quite annoying, really. So
because your knights, your knight's getting all the fire, but it's actually got a 3-up invuln. It's probably not going to die and still going to be on high efficiency the next turn with the stratagem.
Yep.
But this guy's not that survivable. But like you say, you stick him at the back of the board, and he's great.
If you're that range, then you just kind of. I think with Deathwatch, to make them work well, going back to your deployment side of things, you've got to use all your long range weaponry to kill everything that's going to kill your Deathwatch when they land. If you've done that, if you've killed all the strength 6 -2 damage stuff that they've got, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I think there's a certain skill and just being patient and actually not just trying to come down turn 2 because you can. And it's actually just waiting for that moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I might drop in 1 unit turn 2. Might drop in the other 2 units turn 3, and then I might redeploy the 4th unit the other unit that was deployed or something or whatever. You got loads of options there. Yeah. So and now with my list at 2,000 points, I can take 4 big units of veterans. And I could actually take 5 big units of veterans in the 2,000 point list, plus what I've already told you. So now all of a sudden I've got a lot to play with.
That's really good. I just want to say thanks for sharing the list with us and some of the tactics with it, because that's really, really good of you.
No worries.
We'll have to get you back on soon to have another chat about things.
Yeah, mate, definitely. I think we can get another good show lined up.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. What's the next tournament you're going to?
Well, I'm in the middle of moving house at the moment, so it's all up in the air. I've got, though, on the cards, I've got coming up Greetings of the Warp, which is an ITC 1750 tournament. Not this weekend, next weekend. I'm then doing the team tournament, Clash of the Lions or something.
Wow. So you've got a lot on, haven't you? I wish I could get to that many tournaments. Oh, there's more.
And then then in Feb we've got Battlefield Birmingham. I think I'm going to Belgium with the Glasshammer team. And I think I'm also doing the Warhammer World GT in March. I've signed up for the LGT this year as well. I'm pretty much doing probably about 2 a month I'm trying to get to. So yeah, and obviously with Vanguard Tactics, I do all the coverage for them. So I vlog the whole thing. It's not just I give you a battle report. I film while I'm there. I give you a bit of behind the scenes, and I like to do all that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a vlog style stuff. So awesome. I tell you about the list I'm going to take, how I think it's going to go, how it ran, the event, everything. So okay. Should be good.
That's good. So we'll have to ask you how you get on those next time you're on.
Yeah, mate, definitely.
That's good. And guys, if you've not subscribed to the channel already, take a look at it and make sure you check out Stephen's channel as well. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Thanks, guys.